Hey everyone, welcome to another page in the Desert Plant Diary. I'm Carl. In today's video I'm going to talk about something that's a little left of center, so I'm not going to focus on succulents. However, it is related to it. Now, for succulent arrangements, in my opinion, you do need three basic things. So succulents, of course, perhaps different shapes, sizes and colors to just add that third dimensional look to the entire arrangement. Perhaps some kind of curiosity as well, and top dressing. So I've got some rocks and pebbles there. And of course, in my opinion, perhaps a very important aspect, ceramic pot. Now, while choosing ceramic pots for your arrangement, it's important to have succulents that have some relation to the color of the ceramic pot. I will talk about that in a different video. Today, I'm going to talk about ceramic containers. And what you see in front of you, all of these beautiful ceramic containers, are designed by one of my favorite ceramic pot designers, who is Brahmadeo Ram Pandit. Now, there's more than meets the eye to this person. I was lucky during one of my few trips across the country to visit exhibitions or plant exhibitions or horticultural expos to bump into this incredibly talented and extremely humble designer. Now, besides just being extremely talented and very contemporary in his work, I must talk a little about this designer because his birthday is on the 2nd of March and he turns 70 this year. So I'd like to make this video to talk a little about him, give you more knowledge about him so you could perhaps get interested in these pots and know where to pick them up. Because most of the times when you pick up succulent arrangements in the country, you do get very regular looking ceramic pots, which, not to offend anyone, does look as boring as a mug or something. So his work, as you can see, has a lot of influence of perhaps Japanese designs, and it's quite evident in his work. Now, he has been trained also in Japan, Hong Kong and Taiwan too, and it's very evidently reflected in his work. Now, he hails from a potter's family, and while most of the people his age decided to pursue more rewarding careers, he decided to stay true to his roots and get trained in pottery making. And he first got trained in one of the ashrams inaugurated by the first president of India, and after which he also came down to my home state, Karnataka, to get trained in 1970, and it came full circle in 2013, when he was awarded by the then President of India the Padma Shri Award, which is one of the most prestigious awards given to anyone in the country for his contribution in handicraft. Now, besides which, he's also trained quite a lot of people to ensure that pottery does not die in the country as a hobby as well. And he's also trained more than 2,000 visually challenged students in the art of pottery making. So let's go on a tour of some of the succulent containers that we have here, the ceramic container. So first up, we have this massive ceramic pot. You can very evidently see the Far East influence on some of the designs on this. And there's some writing there too. Now, the first time I bumped into the designer, it was in Hyderabad, which is a state away from mine, and I saw these massive ceramic containers, and I did want to take one of them with me. Unfortunately, during that horticultural exposition that I was visiting, I had purchased quite a few plants, so I didn't have anyone with me, so it was more of a solo trip, so I couldn't carry too many containers with me. Fortunately, on his visit to Bangalore, because I literally chased him like a stalker to find out where he was, and when he dropped into my home state, I was the first one to go to him and call him up and get some of the containers. Now, I have met with this designer, and he's an extremely humble person, I can assure you, and his work speaks for itself. Now, next up, we have this medium-sized ceramic pot. Very earthy tones for most of his work, nothing outlandish. And next to that, we have this beautiful design on it. That green is so beautiful, I don't even know what the word is for that. And of course, the succulent arrangement that we looked at, both similar colors, very, very beautiful shades, nothing quite gaudy. And over here, I think these are the loudest in terms of colors, but very beautiful nonetheless. Would make a perfect ceramic pot for a succulent arrangement. Next we have this very simple but beautiful pot nonetheless. Perhaps a good pot for any of the Codeciform euphorbias. And here's another outstanding piece of work by the Pandit. Very beautiful, immaculately planned and designed and executed work as well. Now these two do look a little ordinary. Perhaps some plant that speaks for itself could be placed in this pot. I picked it up on purpose though, because there are some pots which are quite plain, because there are some plants that are so showy by themselves you don't need any of the work on it to make it pop. Then over here we have the tinier containers, beautiful nonetheless. The detailing on it is very nondescript, but still makes it an outstanding piece of art. Then next to this, you can see he's very creatively made something in blended colors over there too. Now this designer was the first one, to the best of my knowledge, to introduce glazing to ceramic work. Now glazing might not be the best thing when it comes to potting succulents, nonetheless it was an art unknown in the country, or not popular at least. And finally we have this guy. Look at the work on that. And most of his work isn't very expensive, it's extremely affordable in fact, and it's quite evident from his pricing that the designer isn't chasing profit. And in today's world that's very rare, especially when it comes to ceramic, because it's in such high demand these days. So a final look at all of the ceramic pots over there, absolutely gorgeous. So that's all of them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and get inspired to perhaps go and pick up one of these beauties, because a ceramic pot, in my opinion, can make any plant, if you've selected it well, just pop. And I will talk about perhaps one or two, perhaps in an upcoming video, of how you could choose succulents for a ceramic pot. Until then, I want to thank you guys for watching, sending you a lot of strength and inspiration to step out in your garden today and do something fantastic and get your plant mojo on. All the way from the Garden City of India, here's me wishing you guys a fantastic weekend. Cheers.